All right, we are headed up for Q1 here in Denver. And there's Alex's car this weekend. He's running Palmer's car. They wrapped it with the Havoline stuff. But anyways, here we come. Here comes Bruce. Anyways, we got, this is our Q1. We had a little excitement before we got up here. We've warmed the car up. New short block that I had built in Norwalk. When we warmed the car up, the rear main, or in the area the rear main was leaking. So we pulled it apart, pulled the oil pan, drained the oil, pulled the oil pan, I pulled it off. Well, everything was put in correctly. Not sure why, but the rear main looked a little beat up. So we put a new one in, put it all back up to there, put it back together, and it ran and it went through the warm up and didn't leak until we shut it off, and then it leaked again. So we went ahead and did a motor swap at that point and got it warmed up. Everything's good, so we're ready for Q1. But you know, being I'm the short block guy, I feel pretty small that there's something wrong in there, but I don't know until we get it on an engine stand and figure out what's going on. I'm pretty sure. Hey guys, day 2 at Denver, and obviously qualifying Friday night didn't go that well. We shook really hard and broke a couple of motor mounts, knocked the radio out of the car, shook really bad. So not the end of the world, we'll come out. So today, you know, the motor I was telling you about, I had some issues. Last night I worked on it, I think we found the problem. So we went ahead and swapped motors again, put it back in the car and did our warm up early to make sure that we corrected the problem. And it looked like we have, and so we went ahead and warmed up with that one, and it looks like the problem's been corrected, so we're going to run it in Q2. Hopefully everything goes well, and I'll answer some questions until we roll up for Q2 here in Denver. I think we go at 5:15 or whatever on Saturday. Ha!
So,
hey guys.
So the angry Hornet is trying to be sneaky and get over here and get his content.
Without interrupting the content guys over here.
Yeah.
Brent from BMI Speed and Claire.
Rockstar. Angry Hornet, everybody. Angry Hornet.
All right, guys. Forrest Miller asked, you know, what's the crew chief making 2 adjustments right before the launch? What is he always adjusting? And I have answered this before, but I'll answer it again. So they're adjusting once after the burnout stuff. They're going to come and they're going to adjust the air bleed to put it at the given RPM that Mike wants to run the car at the launch. And then those last ones that he's doing, and you can see the pipes change. He's adjusting this here to change how much fuel he's returning to do what he wants to do with the car in the given conditions at that time. You know, a little bit more in depth on Forrest's questions was, you know, I just don't want to say anything wrong. I had to ask Mike, double check myself, but you know, he is adjusting and richening the idle circuit after the burnout, that last thing he does. The reason we don't want to richen it earlier is because we're trying to build some heat, and if you richened it too early, you wouldn't have enough heat in the motor, and it would have a tendency to want to pull holes out more than they already do. So we run it a little leaner, and then he fattens it up just before they go on the high side to give it all the fuel we can give it, hoping that we've put enough temperature in the motor. So I hope that explains what they're doing, those last minute adjustments at the starting line. So Gold Reef Club asked, you know, do we change the percentage of nitro when we go to Denver, and what other changes do we make? We don't change the percentage of nitro, we still run the same percentage we do everywhere else. The biggest changes we make here is we try to increase static compression a little bit, so we'll run a thinner head gasket, and we'll run more blower overdrive to try to compensate for the thin air. We have a blower, so we're able to make adjustments that way, where a naturally aspirated car just loses the horsepower. So that's the biggest two, is we're going to spin the blower a little bit faster, and we're going to increase the static compression by a smaller head gasket, adjust the fuel accordingly to try to compensate for the elevation up here on the mountain. All right, we're heading down for Q2. Got the other block in the car. Did good on the warm-up, so we'll see how she does on this Q2 pass. Pretty hot today. The track's been on pretty sunny most of the day, so let's see what we can do. Hopefully we can go A to B and make a solid pass. So we're rolling up. We got a guest in the tow rig, my dad. All right, guys, we are up in the staging lanes. There's Izzy. We're up in the staging lanes for Q3. Q2, we shut the car off. Clover shutted it down because it had put a hole out at the step and we didn't want to damage anything. So, I mean, we're in the field. We'd like to get A to B to sort some things out up here on the mountain. It ain't easy. We are rolling forward for E1 on Sunday. Q3, we finally went down the track. It went on like a 395 or 396. It put a hole out, created pan pressure, and shut itself off, but it's getting closer and closer, so hopefully we got it all figured out here. Go first round against Sean Langdon. I think we ended up qualifying 7th, and I believe we have lane choice. Anyways, not easy up here on the mountain. Haven't recorded a lot this weekend because been super busy. Anyways, hope we can go some rounds for you today. Okay guys, we're down here in the staging lanes for E2. E1 went really well. We ran a 378, quickest of the session. Big boost. We got lane choice going against Grubnick and Brittany in the second round. So anyways, here we are, getting ready to roll. Just doing the last adjustment on the clutch. All right, we're heading up for E3. E2 went extremely well. We ran a 381. We're the low ET of the session, so we got lane choice again and choice of wear. So we're gonna go second pair and take the same lane we've been using and see how it goes. Woo, downhill staging lanes in Denver are kind of cool. We pulled way early. And she will coast and catch up with us. Well, hey everybody. Sorry I didn't get a video out a little quicker after Denver. Just really busy, and the travel schedule is a little harsh right now, and the work schedule is a little harsh. So this is Wednesday night. I fly out tomorrow afternoon, evening for Sonoma. A little recap on Denver. Qualifying, we had a little bit of a rough time. We pulled some main studs out of a couple of blocks. We did quite a few motor swaps for as many laps as we went to get things to happen. We were at the track really late Saturday night. I built another short block Saturday night with the help of Chris to make sure we had enough for Sunday.
and we didn't qualify very well. And Mike figured it out. And on Sunday, he did an outstanding job. We were the car to beat. We were the quickest in E1. We were the quickest in E2. And we failed ourselves in E3. And losing a race because I get outran, that's part of it. And that doesn't bother me too much. Nobody likes losing, but it doesn't bother me too much if it's because we got outran. But when we did something that cost us the race, which is what happened in Denver, it's a little harder pill to swallow and it'll bite you for a while. I really felt like we had a really great shot to win that race. Torrance is always hard, but up there we were running faster than they were. But mistakes happen. We're a team, and as a team, we win together and we lose together. So a mistake was made, and number 2 piston had a problem, and it created a bunch of pan pressure, and that's why the car barely moved. As soon as he stepped on the throttle, the pan pressure shut the car off with the pan pressure switch, which is a safety protocol and which is what we would want it to do, and it's the way it goes. So hopefully we can take some momentum that we were running really well into Sonoma and don't make any mistakes and do a little bit better. The car, we've made it to the semifinals 3 out of the last 4 races. So we're there. We just need to get over the mountain here a little bit. We're close. So thanks for everybody's support. Figure I'd answer another question or two here real quick. Close this video out, but I mean, I don't know if you guys are watching stuff, but it was an outstanding day. I felt like it was ours, and Mike was doing an outstanding job with the car, and Clay was doing an outstanding job driving it. He was right on point with his lights, and it was looking up. So, anyways, before we get too far away from Norwalk here, Truck Ladders asked what was the fuel leak on Q2 in Norwalk. It was just a bad fitting. One of the mating surfaces on the AN fitting had a little ding in it, and that thing carries so much fuel pressure, it found it. So we just had to replace the fitting. That's all pretty simple, pretty easy to overlook. But anyways, that's been corrected. But that's all that was. And then let's see, we'll do one more here. SCH51A, I don't know quite what that means, but asked at the starting line, what are we looking for, or do we all have assignments on what we're looking for? And yes and no. So Chris, the car chief, is on the right side of the car, and Clover's standing more towards the middle now. He used to stand over to the left. Clover's looking at a lot of things. He's looking at what the tires are doing, but really focused on the headers, and if we put a hole out, if he can tell they put a hole out or not. He's got that kill box, and he's going to kill the car if he sees a hole out. Unless it's in eliminations, then we stand a chance to win, because a lot of times it'll hurt the motor if we let it go down with a hole out. Myself, I'm videoing a lot more back there. I watched those videos. Overall, just didn't really looking, but just kind of watching. And a lot of the other guys, we're just kind of watching, paying attention, but just kind of watching. That's about it. I mean, we really look over the car before we get to the staging lane, or as we're in the staging lane, as we're waiting, everybody's looking over, touching things, making sure nobody missed anything, or doing our best to do that. I set the wheelie bar after I strapped Clay in. I strapped Clay in for the last time. I suck up his shoulder harnesses right before we go, pretty much, and then I double check the wheelie bar and come around, and then I grab the start from Chris after he starts the car. So everybody's got little jobs to do to get us in and out of there, but that's pretty much what we're looking for at the starting line. A wind light usually is what I'm looking for the most. Anyways, thanks for everybody for watching. I've got a lot more questions from our 25 video, so I'll answer more of those in Sonoma. Head that way tomorrow night. And hopefully we can take some momentum from Denver and lessons learned from Denver and put it behind us and do good in Sonoma. So thanks for everybody. Thanks for watching.